Hi, I'm Jenny McBride with the McBride Real Estate Group at Keller Williams. So you're thinking you'd like to sell your house, and naturally you're wondering how much money you'll make doing so. It makes sense, but in order to calculate profit, you'll first need to estimate your expenses. Yes, it does cost money to sell your house, so let's take a look at an overview of what those costs are. Remember, your specific state and location will ultimately determine your costs. So this is a general guideline. Your first set of costs is your real estate agent's commission, assuming you're using an agent. That commission is going to be negotiated between you and your agent. It's also worth considering that a licensed agent brings to the table for that cost. If you get a good one, that commission is worth more than the increased sale price you should see, in addition to the fewer headaches you'll experience from having someone walk you through a complicated transaction. It's obviously up to you to decide whether you use a real estate agent when selling, but just know that more often than not, you usually come out ahead when you do. Next, you'll want to factor in repairs. Home repairs, well, that's on a case-by-case basis. The buyer will pay for the home inspection and more than likely will ask you to make repairs based upon the inspector's report. You'll need to evaluate your situation and determine how much you're willing to spend to get your home sold. However, if you're not willing to make the repairs and the sale falls apart, you will then have to disclose the defects in the report to other buyers because now you know what those defects are. More times than not, you'll end up having to do those repairs anyway or sell your home at a lower price. Then you've got closing fee, which are anywhere from $500, depending on what your taxes are. That'll be more. That's going to include closing fees, closing protection letter, deed prep, property taxes. Again, those fees and amounts depend heavily on your specific location and circumstances. So reach out to me if you'd like a more detailed breakdown of your property. Then you've got seller concessions, which can, again, vary greatly depending on your specific property and market, what the market is doing. These concessions can take the form of home warranties, buyer's closing costs paid by the seller, and simple reductions in sale price. These costs heavily depend on the market where you're selling. If you're selling in a strong seller's market, there's a good chance you won't have any concessions at all, and you may even get multiple offers. On the contrary, if you're selling in a buyer's market, your concessions may be more substantial. Generally speaking, just as a ballpark number, you can assume between 3 and 4% of the sale price will go towards fees and other concessions. Once again, your specific circumstance dictates the total cost you'll incur. And we always do a net sheet with line items of these costs to give you a more accurate information on your property and your house. So feel free to reach out to the McBride Real Estate Group at EvansvilleRealEstateSearch.com to learn how much you stand to gain if you sold today.